welcome to Dull Edge. This is our podcast where we talk about ridiculous things that pop into our brains. My name is Shay.
And I'm Bobby.
And today we're going to talk about what do you think about when you don't have to be thinking about anything. So, go ahead. You're not at a job. You're not actively oh, I have to take care of this customer. Oh, I'm driving, or
you're not problem solving or fixing,
right?
And you're not, or in a task where you're like next step, next step,
or a conversation. Nobody needs you right now. So where does your brain go when you don't have to be somewhere? That's what I want to talk about today. Are you ready?
Yeah.
The look on your face is great. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question first before we get into it. Have you ever watched either movie of The Secret Life of Walter Mitty?
I did the first one.
With Danny Kaye?
No. Oh, then I lied. The second one.
That's Ben Stiller.
Yes. But I didn't know Danny Kaye was in one. I'm going to watch that.
Oh, it's really fun. You like Danny Kaye?
I know.
Look at that. I love Danny Kaye. I didn't know
He's the
that.
one in White Christmas, right?
Yeah, White Christmas and in Court Jester and Inspector General.
I haven't seen him in anything else.
Oh my gosh, he's one of my favorites. I absolutely love him.
Are those also dancing movies? I like dancing movies.
He doesn't dance in The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, but he does sing, because you know how he does that little, it's not mumbles sing, but it's nonsense, where he'll be bibbidi bobbidi boo or whatever, and he'd
scat.
Yeah, but white people scat. I don't know how to explain that any better. It's
I only know him for his dancing and flicking cigarettes in houses.
Oh, well.
That's all that I know him about.
No. He had a variety show. You should check that out, too. I think a couple seasons of it, yeah.
I knew he was, a well-rounded person, but,
Yeah, he brought on lots of cool performers from that time period. And, it's just really fun to see all those old people that used to sing and dance do stuff together. And, not as a character, but, as them.
As them doing their own business.
It's
super
fun.
They actually like.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I love Danny Kaye. So,
okay.
so there's that rabbit
today is about Danny Kaye.
No. He is one of my favorite actors, but no. So The Secret Life of...
done that.
We could have. We should do that. This is gonna be a rabbit hole day. No. So in The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, it's actually based on a short story by James Thurber, and it's also called The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, but it's only 10 pages.
Oh.
So, but the short story was absolutely fascinating. I finally read it for the first time just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because I love this. So I really sympathize with the character Walter Mitty.
Oh, so do I. I was I wish I could just... Whoop.
Yeah. See, but I do. So I think what it's called is maladaptive daydreaming. Yeah. And I am sure that I am a clinical case of that.
Yeah.
Because when my brain doesn't have to be actively engaged, boom. And it's not ADD.
Yeah.
It's just, I want to be somewhere else.
You're out.
Yeah. All the time. So this was a super fun topic for me, because I'm I could just explain everything that goes on in my brain. But I'm no, limit it down. Limit it down.
Push it back down.
What do you think about the most?
What do I think about the most?
Mm-hmm.
Usually just odd and end questions.
Like what?
Because I'll usually be listening to a book or something, and then something will come up, or whatever. The other day, all of a sudden I was why did raccoons come up? Raccoons came up, and all of a sudden I was where do raccoons live?
Oh yeah, you posted this to your Instagram.
Yeah, I did, because I was do they nest? Do they make houses? Do they burrow?
I mean, they live in the gutter in my mom's neighborhood.
Right? Quentin was the trash cans. And I'm but they don't live in the trash cans. They just dine at the trash cans. Where do they live? And then I started thinking about potato chips. That was also my Instagram, where I'm why do those taste different?
The wavy ones versus the flat ones?
They're exactly the same.
It's an accumulation of salt in the divots.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, and so they just was all right. And then I had another, I was why is it that powdered hot chocolate, stirs in and doesn't clump, but when I'm doing cake it does, which I've resolved quickly because I was the oil
Probably.
But, it's so, things like that will just happen, where just, one thing, and then you start wondering about the logistics of it, and then I just start going off like that. Where did tomatoes come from? Where does this come from? How did that happen? Why are we like this? You know what I mean? Just that's my usual.
I love that. It's such a sense of wonder.
If you get this trigger warning in the murder mystery that I was listening to, someone got shot in the neck. Sorry, this was way before. By a blow dart, and and then they died. Sorry.
I'm okay with this.
Just in case someone else isn't. But then the lady was talking, and they're well, they were poisoned. And the cop was how do you know that? And I'm
that's how
obviously,
blow darts work.
That's how no one's wandering around shooting people in the neck with non-poison blow darts.
That would be extremely ineffective.
That would be...
It would be annoying.
Annoying and whatever. Like,
yeah, why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
It's a waste of time.
I'm like, there's no way that you could shoot anybody, like, unless it's in the eyes, which would be very inconvenient.
A very small target.
Right? Like, what? Anyway, sorry, I just was like, how'd you make it into being a cop if you didn't know they were poison blow darts?
Bad cop.
Well, she's always like, the main character's the murderer, and you're like, this is the 5th book, pal. She's not gonna be the murderer, but also 7th book, she should probably murder someone because she wouldn't be caught.
That would be funny.
I mean?
I know, especially if the cop doesn't understand poison dart technology.
Like, it's just like, she usually is a good cop, but she just is annoying as fuck because whatever. But anyway, so that's the whole point. Is then you just start thinking about like stuff. That's where my mind goes. Is like, where's the origin of that? They said something about their name, Barabbas. You know, from
the Bible.
From the Bible. They named their person, and they're like, that's an unfortunate name, and I'm like, why? So I had to look it up. I'm not going to talk about it because it's religious, but like, what? Why?
That's fascinating.
Anyways,
I love
that's
that.
where mine goes.
So you just like follow the wonder.
Right.
I love that.
Like, it's just...
I do that too, but in a different way. Right. So like that was the second thing. That's usually where my brain goes. So like people know that I love salt.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But my interest in commodities is not limited to just salt. I like to know where crap comes from and like how it gets there. So like a couple summers ago, I went down this just crazy rabbit hole about linen.
Oh yeah.
Because like linen is what people have been wearing for like forever, right? I mean, just like forever.
Yeah, like and that's the thing.
Yeah, linen and cotton and wool. That's your choices. And cotton doesn't grow everywhere, right?
No.
So anyway, so I was like, you know what? I want to understand this. So I went through and I figured out where you can grow linen, how to grow it, what it takes to then break down the stalks, because it's like a crazy extensive process. It takes like 6 weeks to break down the stalks and turn it into flax thread, which then has to be wound, but it can only be wound a certain direction, which is opposite from the way that you do other fibers, because otherwise it won't stick together.
Oh my god.
Right? And then so I was like, okay, well, how do you do that? And I'm like, oh, drop spindle. Okay, so how does drop spindle work? So I had to figure that out. And then like I was like all prepped to do this. I was like, I'm gonna tear up some grass in my yard. I'm gonna grow some linen. I'm gonna make a washcloth out of linen. I want to do this. And I was like a whole summer I was thinking of this. And then I got sick and I couldn't do it. And I was like, yeah, but would I have done it anyway?
Oh my gosh.
But I bought a drop spindle and I've like got some fibers and I was gonna try and like all this kind of stuff, but it didn't happen. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff I do too. You just
get stuck on things.
I love that. I love thinking about that. But like also too, like, have you ever thought about pencils?
Sometimes.
Like I think pencils are a crazy piece of technology.
Yeah.
What it takes to get the graphite, to get it in the wood, to get it to the people, like it just the whole process of where it's grown and where it's made and brought to you. And you can just go buy one.
Like, you can pick up a whole pack.
You can pick a whole pack.
And they're just casually like that.
Amazon will ship it to you. Like pencils. Yeah. Like they're so cool. And like paper clips, same thing. Safety pins. Oh my gosh, safety pins. Like they're incredible. Yeah. So I go down that rabbit hole. I love it. Milk is nuts. One of my favorite things I ever did was tour a cow barn.
Oh yeah.
And I was just so fascinated by everything.
What do you mean?
I mean,
what in there was fascinating to you? Not to be that guy, but like, because I've done the milking, I've done the whole like pasteurizing. Like to me, so I'm like, okay.
Wait, you've pasteurized your own milk?
Well, like for the goat people, you put it in there and you boil it, and then you have to scoop the top off, and you have to do all this stuff.
Wow.
So it's not like I don't know. It's probably not as extensive as the cow barn people, but like.
Well, the cow barn that we toured, he had a refrigerator, and then the truck came and picked up the unpasteurized milk, and then took it to go get pasteurized. So he didn't have that in house. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he was a smaller farmer, like maybe 20 cows or something like that. Yeah, I mean, but it's not like
it's not like the ones where they're like thousands where they're lined up and they're all pooping in a trough and like whatever. Yeah, it's not like that, but still.
Like all of his cows had names, you know. So this is Bessie, she's ornery, stay away from her feet, you know, that kind of stuff.
Where I know exactly each one of you, not just like this is number 85, 97. Yeah.
And they were happy cows. So I was kind of surprised by that. Except for Bessie. Just don't stand behind her. She's fine. But yeah, like he walked us down the barn and he showed us like how everything worked and how like the little vacuums worked on the cow and
the udder vacuums.
The udder vacuums.
Okay.
Yeah. The utter vacuums. And the cow,
Bro.
they kept a fleet of cats, or a herd of cats. What's it called? A caboodle? I don't know. A bunch of cats
Oh, I feel like
in the barn. There's a name for it.
I'll just Google that.
Google it right now. A herd of cats. But he kept the cats in the barn with the cows, and they lived happily together because the cats kept the mice away from the hooves of the cows and stuff.
Yeah.
And the cats had names, and they were cared for. Like, they would take them to the vet. They're like, these are our working cats. And I'm like, I didn't know you could have working cats. You have working dogs and working horses, but I didn't know you had working cats. Anyway, so they were...
What the frick? A clouder.
A clouder of cats.
That is not anything I thought that was going to be.
Wow, I severely disagree with that. We should rename what a group of cats is called.
I'm on board now.
See, we're down this rabbit hole. Like, why is it called that?
I don't know.
Anyway, who decided that? They were wrong.
In Middle English, the term clotter, like clotting, which meant to huddle together, is also root for clutter, which is why my clouder creates in my house, which is what my cloud. I think they were trying to be funny there. They were trying to be funny. Weren't.
All right, you failed. We're gonna call it a huddle now.
A huddle.
A huddle of cats. But they were beautiful. And then, like, he's pointing out that the tubes for the milk have to be clear so that you can see if any like contaminants get in it. So they're just like observing the whole time as the milk is going through. And then he took us into the room where the refrigerator was, and he gave us fresh cow milk. And it was like, oh my gosh, it's so good. And probably don't drink it like every 10 seconds because you'll probably die. But it was so tasty. Like, just not like what comes out of the grocery store at all. It's like drinking ice cream. It was so good.
Like thicker?
Yeah. It was delicious. Anyway, but like stuff like that, like just commodities, like where does stuff come from?
Yeah.
Like, if you've ever thought about the lining of a suit jacket, like what you have to go through to put a lining in a suit jacket.
Oh yeah, that stuff's hard. Where you think about it and you're like, do they have to cut it to the same proportions as the outside, or do you have to mathematically take it in more than the seam allowance? Like, do you have to do it less than that? Because I think about that sometimes when you're trying to do like garb for fencing, where you're like, do I just double this or do I not?
Right.
Or whatever. Yeah.
And like, people have to understand that and how to do it. And I just think it's fascinating. I love following that around. Anyway, so that's one of the things I think about all the time.
When you told me this this whatever, it almost, like how you portrayed it, it almost sounded like you had pre-set up, oh, if I have time, I'll think about A. Like, that's how it came across.
Sometimes I do that.
Like, you pre-set up to, later today, I'll think about cows.
No, I do that. I mean, I don't necessarily
pre-set up your thought processes?
Yeah. Why? I don't do it because I have children. I don't have time. Like, I'll set aside time to think. Like, for reals. Like, I'll put it in my calendar, in my schedule, where it's just like, this is uninterrupted time. And part of that is for the writing process. Because, like, sometimes you just have to sit down with a problem in your book and you're like, okay, I need to think through this.
Right.
Because, like, you can't just do it while you're at the computer. You can't just fix problems while you're typing. You have to spend time thinking through and, like, would this character do this? And that's one of the other things I'm thinking about, like, all the time. Yeah. So this morning when I was taking a shower, because every human takes one, so don't be weird about it. I got lost while I was taking a shower because I was thinking about a problem I'm trying to fix in one of the stories that I'm working on.
You can't just think while you're moving around?
I can, but sometimes I have to set apart time to think and just, like,
for non-book ideas? You know what I mean?
I mean, if like I don't know if I put that in the calendar where I'm just like, I choose to think about milk today. I don't do that.
That's why I'm like, you said, that's what it made it sound like. You were like, oh, I got time. I'll go back to thinking about medieval France and I'll go back to that or whatever. You know what I mean? That's what it made it sound like, where I'm like, what the frick?
I did that earlier this week.
What the frick? I knew it. See, I know you. You don't know me.
It's from other topics. I feel like I've kidnapped the podcast now. We're just going to talk about all the things I want to talk about.
Fine.
So this week when we're recording this time period that this is all going to be coming out is the time period during 1066 when there's the major shift from the English Saxons to the English Normans, because the Normans are coming across right now in 1066. So like, 1066. I've been thinking about that a lot right now because we're recording in the fall, and this is the end of the Viking era, and this is the beginning of the Norman era in England.
Okay.
And I just have been thinking about that all week. And then I went down a rabbit hole on that because that's when they started speaking French. And I was like, okay, cool. So
like, French was invented, or French became the major?
French became the major language in England.
Okay.
In
England? They switched to French in England?
Yeah, and Scotland.
So unfortunate. The combo of Scottish French. There's some combos you're like, all right, let's have it. And then there's some you're like,
That's fascinating. William Wallace, like Braveheart, spoke French.
Only French?
I don't know. Like, he probably spoke both, but majority French, yeah. Oh. That throws you off a little bit, doesn't it?
I don't know anything about him except for he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
So yes, but no.
Yes, but no. Yeah.
The whole concept of them being like majority French is crazy.
It is crazy to me too.
Yeah. Like, no one ever says that.
Here you go.
How long did that last for?
You know what I mean?
So
like the Henrys later down the line, like Henry IV and Henry V, they turned the courts back into English first. Okay. And once the courts and the lawyers started speaking English, everyone else started speaking English. Yeah.
But so how many years was that? Like, I don't know my kings and queens.
So the Normans came over in 1066, and Henry V. Yeah, just
Sorry.
everybody again.
1066.
And then like Henry V is the late 1400s. So
a long minute, like
yeah,
400 years.
400 years, yeah, 400 or 500 years.
4,500 years.
4,500 years. No, 500 years right in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's a fun fact for you. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay, this is a fictional character, but Robin Hood would have spoken French because he's a lower noble, right? And he's in the time period, so you're 100 years, 130-ish years after the Norman invasion. So he's trying to save Richard the First, the Lionheart, right?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Richard the First, primary language French, French-born, French.
He's born French.
Yeah, he's freaking French.
Okay. Yeah. All that my brain says is, have you seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
Oh yeah, of course.
So you say that, but think how many people have not seen that. Anyways, all I imagine is Robin Hood being like that guy that's like this, where he's tapping it, he's on the wall and he's like, your mother smells of elderberries and your father smells of elderberries and your mother was a hamster.
Right.
That's what I imagine him being like, you, whatever. That's what I imagine.
French in French.
Right? Because, just backsassing people.
I love it. Anyway, there you go. So that was my next topic, history. What do you think about other things? Because I've got one more after this.
That's it. I just think about whatever comes up either in the books or whatever I'm doing at the time. Okay. Like, stuff will just happen that I can't even remember. Why was I thinking about raccoons? I know it keeps coming back to that, but something happened about raccoons and I was just like, yeah,
well, if you started down that track last week, because I was talking about raccoons during fencing last week.
Were you? Oh no, the raccoons, because the people I mow the lawn for, they have caught 7 or 8 raccoons in their yard.
78 raccoons?
78 raccoons, dude! Freaking 78 raccoons! And I saw the dad, and he came down, and he's like, I've caught 7 or 8 of these.
Well.
And I'm like, freak. And I'm like, do you think they're like living? Because they have a boatload of trees. And then I was like, that's how it got there. So I'm like, do you think they're like living in your lower like backyard? And he goes, no, I think they just come here because of the food. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, free buffet. And he's like, yeah. And so then I think that's when I was like, do they even live in the tree? Should I be worried when I'm mowing that they're gonna drop on me?
Bam.
Or whatever? Because those guys will try their best to kill you. Like, they aren't joking around. When they're like no, they mean no, and you will regret asking. So like, I just thought it was like, but then I couldn't imagine them coming out of
a burrow.
Yeah. They're not, they don't seem like...
They live under my porch sometimes.
See, they live under porches. Yeah. So they just pick somewhere, an open hole, and that's it.
I guess.
They just are like, oh, under the house, in the house, on the house.
Who knows?
Anyways.
Down the chimney.
I don't have like pre-set up times for thinking. My job is already like 5 hours of solid, just think about whatever you want time. So it just comes up whether I'm trying to figure out the murder mystery or whatever, something happens in there and I'm like, what is that? So no, I don't have like things.
I get most of my thinking done when everyone else is asleep.
Yeah, but you're also up in the night.
That's true. I am up in the night.
Yeah.
I skipped another night this week. just didn't go to sleep.
Who needs it?
No. Okay.
Who needs it?
I have one more. Are you ready?
Okay, go ahead.
I think about so I already talked about it. Hang on. I gotta pull up my notes, everybody. Pull up the notes. No, okay. So honorable mention because I have to. Fencing.
Oh, obviously. That's yeah.
Yeah. So I think about it so much that I think it has dictated how I speak to other human beings.
What do you mean?
Well, okay. So like in fencing, the point is to get to the point, right? Like you have that the entire goal is to touch that other person as fast as possible, right?
And not
get hit yourself. Right?
Yeah.
And I think that is what dictates my conversations. Because I am so point driven in a conversation.
Oh my gosh.
That like it's ridiculous because sometimes I'll be talking to somebody, we'll get interrupted, but like I am driving back to that same point. Like I will pull conversations back from they've wandered off.
Yeah,
and I will pull it back. And sometimes it will be weeks Like we'll start a conversation with somebody.
Yeah.
It will develop and go somewhere else. But I didn't get the satisfaction. I didn't get the point that I needed from that conversation. And so weeks will go by, and the next time I see that person, I'll be like, hey, last time when we were talking, da-da-da-da-da. And so, like, I just have this constant list of things going on in my head of, I need to talk to this person about that. I need to talk to this person about that.
You should write that stuff down. That hurts me. When people are like, I just keep that list in my mind. I'm like, you're a liar. You're a friggin' liar that you keep that.
Well, if the thing in that, though, is if it's not important enough to come back to, I won't come back to it. So I'll just if I forget it, then just let it go. Yeah, it scrolls off the list. But, yeah, so, fencing dictates how I think. It dictates how I walk. It dictates how I engage with people I don't know. It's crazy. Everything is fencing. Everything is fencing.
See, I think about fencing, but it's usually like, how do we make this situational different? I don't want to be like better because
right.
Whatever, but I'm like,
you're trying to find the advantage in it.
Yeah. Not even like the fencing part, just like our group fix, that sort of thing. Because I don't do fencing very well, so I don't think that deep on it. I go off of instincts and hope, and that's really it.
See, and I'm constantly trying to change the dynamic of wherever I'm in to give the greatest advantage, whether for me or for other people. Like, fencing dictates dominant. Like, it's a game of dominance, and how, if I have the greater dominance and strike, then I get the
that
point.
Makes sense. But in my mind at the time, I'm like, anything could happen, and so it's too chaotic for me. Like, it's like chess. Where people are like, well, you just like plan the next 4 steps, and I'm like, no,
really,
no, because they have 18 different characters. I don't even know how many. I could think about it. No, but anyways, you know what I mean. There are 20 different options that they could pick, and where you're like, they're gonna pick number 13. Well, they picked 4. Like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm not gonna plan a plan for each one of those things. Like, that's my brain power is not for that.
I can't do it because in chess isn't the ideal 7 steps ahead. I can't do that. I can usually get to 2, maybe 3.
See, and I'm like, why even plan? Just let it come at me when it comes at me.
Your brother's a better chess player than I am, by the way.
Yeah?
He's a much better chess player than I am.
He's better than a lot of people just because, yeah.
Well, I like chess, though. Anyway, so fencing. Fencing is constantly, it just dictates my entire life, the way I think and do things. It's the way I approach stuff. Just fencing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think about that a lot too. Anyway, there you go. That's what I think about when I don't have anything to think about. History, commodities, my stories, and fencing. Apparently, that's it.
And I just think about raccoons.
Then you follow the wonder, Bobby. You follow the wonder.
Because I'm like, all right, when you're talking about the linen, I'm like, well, I had that kind of thought process with the tomatoes. Where'd those come from?
See?
Where are they growing at? And then it stops. And I'm like, oh, somewhere else. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Italy's like, those are mine.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess like, because when I think about tomatoes, I don't think about Spanish, Hispanic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because they do salsa, bam.
Yeah.
Tomatoes are up in that biz everywhere. But I'm like, no, Italy owns tomatoes.
Italy owns tomatoes. I agree.
You know what I mean?
Italy owns tomatoes.
Like,
for it not being a native plant, they sure took control of it.
Right. They sure got it, and they ran with it. But like 2 ways. Don't come at me, Alonso.
Come at her, Alonso.
You know what? I actually do, because
I want to hear about the tomatoes.
Actually, I do.
I want to hear about them.
Let me tell you the 30 ways that the South American people use tomatoes, and Italy only uses it 2 ways. So I don't know why you think that's what I imagine is going to come at me in the comments.
Let me tell you. We're going to get into a tomato war with the internet.
About this,
bring it on.
That's fine. I'll take that.
Then we'll have more to think about.
Yeah. It'll just come about more things.
I want to know what other people think about.
Yeah.
Like, what do they spend their free time thinking about?
Right.
Do they think?
Some people don't. And you're like, you just don't think about anything? They're like, no.
You're not bored?
That's what I'm saying. Like, so you just like flatline if there's nothing? Like,
they're just humming along?
Right?
I want to know how people get through that. I would be so bored. My entire existence would be pointless.
Blank out? That'd be nuts.
Anyway, tell us what you think about.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.